So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are privileged to be with a very, very good friend of mine, Lynn Herrick. Hi, Lynn.
Hello, Tony.
And Lynn, we're talking to you all from here in Greenwood, Indiana. Lynn and I go back a long way, probably nearly 20 years, in fact, when James was about 4 or 5.
Yes, he was 4 years old and knocked on my door, and our little boys grew up together. Yes.
That's right. And Lynn is the president of the Dance Refinery. Now, you're going to correct me there.
For 32 years, that's accurate. And for the time period that you knew me, that is absolutely accurate. We recently changed to become a not-for-profit. We filed for all those things. And Bill and I were, when we were running the company, when it was, mine, just found that we were doing everything we could to help the young people who maybe couldn't afford this. Their parents got in financial situations, many times due to health situations. And we were just doing as much as we could, and found that if we tried to make the business a not-for-profit, that we could have other avenues. And we have since started production of the Nutcracker that raises a nice little amount of money each year that we split half with another high school to keep their choral programs alive and things, since there have been a lot of budget cuts in the United States in the arts programs. And then we have been able to help more students here at the Dance Refinery.
And so we're going to tell you a little bit about the Dance Refinery. The Dance Refinery has been going, as you said, for 32 years?
This is our 40th anniversary.
40 years. Congratulations,
Absolutely.
Lynn. Holy. And for ladies and gentlemen, if you knew who, well, you're going to see pictures of her on my YouTube page. Lynn Herrick looks about 35, 37. And,
God bless you.
a blonde bob cut haircut, very, very modern. And although I have to say she would look more at home in New York than Indiana, but that's just my opinion. So, Lynn, how did you get started? What made you start with dance?
Years ago, my parents were told that I would be blind by the time I was 19 years old. And I remember that eye doctor appointment. Now, I didn't know that's what was said, but I remember going when I was 6 years old, and they were distraught when we left. The genetic eye condition that I have is nobody could tell me what it was. Oddly enough, I saw a doctor at 19, and he was able to diagnose it then. By that time, medicine had come around enough, they'd figured it out. Ocular albinism, all is well. And my mom wanted me to experience some little girl thing, so they put me in dance right away, to dance class. And I kept on going.
So you stayed with it.
I did. I loved it. It's absolutely been the one constant thing in my life. And it's a good thing I liked it because it's the only form of exercise that I really love. I love this, and behind that comes swimming. But, you can, in Indiana, how many months a year do you get to do that?
Yeah.
So...
Roughly, how many kids do you think you have taught to dance in that time?
I can't even imagine. I never thought I would be in business 40 years. I was with my dance teacher in New York City. We'd been living at the Waldorf Astoria for 3 weeks, doing dance convention after dance convention. She looked at me 3 nights before we were leaving the city and said, "I'm not coming back. So the business is for sale." And she had it all mapped out. This is how many records you can have. Records. That's right. LPs, folks. Records. I got 35 records, a Bogan record player, 2 portable bars, 2 mats for $350.
That's
to
not
start
bad,
this
is it?
Well, I was completely freaked out. When you look at it now, I was like, oh my. But I was going into my sophomore year at Butler University as a fine arts major, BFA. I was studying voice, dance, and drama, and I was like, how am I going to pay for it? I did have some academic scholarship money and state aid and things like that, but not enough. So I bought the business, and I came home and picked a name and started in 3 weeks, found a location and all those good things. And, I never planned on failing, but I don't know where the 40 years has gone.
That's the scary thing. One minute you wake up and you look in the mirror and you think, where the hell did it all go?
Yeah.
Well, I put mine down in a book, and I'm going to challenge you, Lynn, to put yours down in a book too, because the stories that you could put in there, and it's not so much the kids, it's the parents. The stories about the parents would be hilarious.
There's a lot.
Might have to change the names to protect the guilty.
There are. A complete adventure. You know this. You meet people, and they bring wonderful things into your life, but you just laugh at the things.
Yeah, the crazy things that you end up doing. Absolutely right. So we couldn't put a number. to the number of students, but we could probably take a guess that you have anywhere from, what, 300 or 400 or 500 students at any one time?
Yeah, I would say.
So all we'd have to do is multiply that out by the number of years, and that is one hell of a lot of students.
Well, when you think, in the beginning, I started with 88 students in a little basement underneath a drugstore with poles. I would say it would have to be in the thousands.
So you were in this basement, and then how many years ago did you start? We're sitting in ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting in the Dance Refinery, which is absolutely huge. I mean, it is a purpose-built building. How many square feet have we got here?
25,000.
25,000 square feet. So it gives you an idea, and it's broken up into front offices, and then you've got a number of studios behind, each one with sound, each one with a proper dance floor. And this is how, so this must have been a scary thing for you. You decide to go from a basement, and now you're going to get a purpose-built building.
Well, you have to remember, there were many locations in between there. Okay, and the right man was brought into my life for everything. We're just a great partnership. He is completely the business. He was the one that was like, you need to do this.
And for that, none of you, well, a few of you listening may have met Bill, but he is the opposite of Lynn. Whereas Lynn's right now out there in your face, let's make it happen, come on, let's do it. Bill is very, very laid back, at least that's how I see Bill.
Solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock, yeah. So then you put this building together. I mean, when you opened this, did you have it already full of students, or did it take a while to build it up?
Well, it wasn't full. It was lovely because we were packed like sardines at the 10,000 square foot facility, and then we came to this lovely facility, and it wasn't full, but because he'd run all the numbers, and he was like, you have the numbers now. Now is the time we can do this.
Start promoting it, get more students in.
Yeah. So this building is 17 years old now. So, I was early 40s and just, had rounded that corner. And I'm thinking $1 million. To me, naively, as an artist, I felt like I could have whatever I wanted. Isn't that what $1 million
is a lot,
says to you? So anyway, that is not how that worked. I sat down with the architect and with the Steel Corps who helped us build the building and all that good stuff. And those guys looked at me and I was like, okay, I want blah, 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 blah. And they were like, whoa, the budget's $1 million. I said, so anyway.
And they're telling you, it's going to get you this, it's not going to get you all of it.
At $1.5 million, which is where we came in, this is what we have.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But there's a lot of building for $1.5 million. So you take children from 4 years old?
Now we start younger than that. We take them all the way down to, we have a program called Tumble Buddies.
Tumble Tots. Didn't it used to be Tumble Tots?
It's Tumble Tots. Then we designed Tumble Buddies, which is a mommy and me thing.
And I remember all the trips we used to go to Myrtle Beach and other places. I think you even took James to Los Angeles.
Yes, James was a part of that, of our hip-hop crew that took third at that huge competition out there. Now, that was supposed to move on to be like a television series thing. It didn't come out that way, but it was a wonderful experience for all of us. All of the traveling I have done with the kids, the group I took to China. That was pretty amazing.
I think Jenna went with you. Jenna Rifkin went with you to China.
Jenna was the youngest person on that tour, and now she's dancing professionally in New York City.
That's right.
She was 14.
Yeah, we saw her in Christmas. She came round to see us.
Yes, absolutely.
She hasn't changed.
No.
So, one thing that I noticed was that all the children that you've had going through, you give them one fabulous benefit. Apart from the dance, of course, they all seem to have a level of confidence about themselves. They can walk into a room crowded with people. They can stand up on a stage. They can present. They can talk with confidence. Even if they didn't make it as a dancer, it seems to give them a confidence which they may otherwise not have had doing other programs. I mean, sports is sports. It doesn't really generate confidence except in the sport. But dance seems to transcend that. Would you agree with that?
I do, absolutely. And there's a thing going around now on Facebook called Why I Don't Pay for Dance, which is all about a dad's take on what that money really is, that it isn't just paying for dance education. Like my dad said to me, he was a head wrestling coach, had 2 state championship teams, and at an inner city school here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and a big football coach and all that. Had 3 girls, okay? He put me in dance, yes, because they thought I would be blind, but as things progressed and as they could see that I loved it and it was going to kind of be my passion, kind of be my thing, it was all about the keeping me busy and keeping me on track. And, you know, it's a thing that you can do solo, but you also have this wonderful team that you're a part of that you can compete with. And, you know, James was a huge benefit to us as a male performer in, you know, our tumbling and dance end. And I think it was a huge benefit to him, too. But to all the kids, because they do really, my gosh, the things you get from it, the discipline.
Yeah.
The time management that you learn. Our kids go to college and then
and the
they're
commitment. As the kids here in the States get older, and we're talking about 13, 14, they have to start, they're encouraged to pick their sport. You know, what is it you want to do? So it becomes a time when the commitment for the dancing becomes challenged by all these other things, doesn't it? I mean, that's something that you lose a lot to, or you lose their ability to focus on this one thing.
I was a busy teenager. And I loved other things besides my dancing. I mean, like water ballet at the Girls Academy where I went. I wanted to be involved in school, too. Our philosophy here is to try and make the really best use of the kids' time when you have them. Try to be able to share them with the high school is in their show choir or in their tennis or in their golf or in their dance team, so that they can do something else at high school where that's important, but still really produce here. Like they're doing 10 hours a week of cheerleading, basketball, and whatever it is, I don't care. Which is
all-consuming. And a lot of them, they don't lead anywhere. They're just things that you do at school. And a lot of them, just things that you do at college, at school. Some of them may help you to get a scholarship. And ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say that the scholarship program here is very good. But if you don't have it, college here in the States is very expensive. This was part 1 of my interview with Lynn Herrick of the Dance Refinery. This is Tony Moore signing off. Bye-bye.